Hey there, this is Ryan Van Tuyl from the Van Tuyl Music Foundation. Going to do a quick lesson today and a quick talk on timing as a musician. What is timing? Timing to me is the most important thing a musician can work on and develop as they become better and better at music. The reason for that being is it's easy to play the correct notes, you can play the correct rhythms, but if your timing is bad, the song doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound as good. I've been to so many concerts and seen bands, and I'm watching them play and I'm analyzing because I'm a music teacher, and they're playing all the right notes, but it just doesn't sound right. And it's like, something's off about this group or something's off about this performer. And usually the reason is their timing is not good. So the number one tip to work on your timing, of course, as most people know, is to play to a metronome. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but it is truly the true thing that makes you and makes your timing better, makes you a complete musician. The reason for that is, number one, as I like to tell all my students, the metronome doesn't listen to you. It doesn't care what you're doing. You have to listen to it. And as musicians, we have to develop our ears, our ability to listen and play at the same time. So the first step, of course, is just playing to a metronome, right? So most people, when they put on a metronome, which I'll do for you here, let's say we're at 100 beats a minute, is they count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Every click gets a number, and then if you want to do what's called subdividing, you can count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or if you're doing 16th notes, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and, or if you're doing triplets, I like to say 1 lolly, 2 lolly, 3 lolly, 4 lolly. So that's the basic idea. But then most people have already done that. If you want to really start developing your time, what we do is we start messing with where the beat is on the metronome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the metronome down to 40 beats per minute. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the beat of the metronome beats 2 and 4 of my count. And what that's going to do is that's going to force me to listen and be consistent as I'm counting, because it's not giving me every beat. I have to make sure that the counts I say in between the beats line up. So that sounds like this. It's usually hard for people to get going, but here's that click. So what you do when you're doing this is you start on 2 and then you just keep counting. You try to get to line up. So something like this: 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you can hear I've got a real consistent count going with that 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can practice with the metronome with that kind of beat. And then the next level, which is even harder, is you only give yourself one beat out of the 4 for the metronome click. So what that means is let's say I'm going to choose a hard beat. I like to choose 4. Okay, so I'm going to put this on. Now every time this clicks, this is 4, and I have to fill in the space in between these clicks with the other 3 beats. It sounds like this. I'm going to be playing a faster tempo. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I did there and what you heard is I just hit 4, and then I kind of had to adjust the speed of my counting as I was counting along to make sure everything started to line up and then even out. And if you can count like that, and then of course the next level is to play like that with the metronome like that, those are the things that are going to really developing your time. So let's try a real simple example. I'm going to go over to my piano here, and we're going to play Jingle Bells. Okay, just a real simple Jingle Bells in C. Now I'm going to start with our metronome at, we'll call it 80 beats per minute. And that metronome is going to give me the beat, and that's going to be every quarter note. So this is just normal playing to a metronome, standard counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Okay, so that's playing to the metronome at 80 beats per minute. Standard is giving me every beat that I'm counting. Now, to work on that timing, like I talked about, I'm going to drop it down to 40. Okay, so technically I'm still playing at 80 beats per minute, but I'm only getting 2 of those beats from my metronome, so I have to fill in the rest. So before I start, I'm going to find that beat, find the evenness by counting, and I'm always going to start on 2, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I give myself a couple of measures. 3, 4, 1, 2, and ready and play. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So what you heard there is me lining up my metronome with the 2 and the 4. And now here comes the hard part. That metronome's going to stay at 40, but I'm only going to give myself one beat, like we talked about, just one beat, and that's going to be beat 4. So now I'm going to be playing faster because it's staying at 40, but I'm only getting one beat per measure. So remember I said I was going to give myself beat 4 with the metronome. So I'm going to start with the counting. 4, 1, 2, 3, almost. 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, ready, play. Jingle bells, jingle jingle all the way. Or if I'm counting, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And there it is. If you can do those things when you're playing on the piano or on your instrument, on the guitar, on the bass, on the drums, anything, if you're able to play to a click and keep that consistent beat when the metronome's only giving you 2 beats out of the measure or 1 beat out of the measure, or there's a next level where it's giving you an 8th note or a 16th note, which is super advanced, your timing is going to be impeccable. And that's what you want as a musician. If you really want to become a truly advanced musician that people love to listen to, that feels good when you're playing, people are like, wow, he plays those notes and it feels so good. It's your timing. Work on that, and I'll see you in the next lesson.